In the developing human embryo in week 6 of gestation, the teeth will develop in a complex process that involves a myriad of different cell types and tissues. Within the developing jaws of the embryo, epithelial and ectomesenchymal cells will interact with each other to produce teeth. This animation will outline the first 3 stages of tooth development: bud, cap, and bell. Prior to the bud stage, 2 bands of thickened epithelium form in the presumptive upper and lower jaws of the embryo. On each band, a ribbon-thin shelf emerges into the underlying ectomesenchyme. This inward growth is called the dental lamina and signals the beginning of tooth development. The bud stage commences with the formation of small bulges on the dental lamina. These bulges grow into the adjacent ectomesenchymal tissue, creating a bud. As the bud grows, it forms a shape similar to a light bulb attached to the end of a rope as the ectomesenchymal cells continue to proliferate around it. As the development process continues, an infolding appears. The ectomesenchymal cells continue to proliferate within that fold. This formation signals the beginning of the cap stage. Several structures can be identified during the cap stage. The enamel organ is the part of the developing tooth made up of epithelial cells originating from the dental lamina. The dental papilla makes up the ectomesenchymal cells filling the concavity of the cap. Lastly, the dental follicle makes up the ectomesenchymal cells enclosing the rest of the enamel organ. Note that the enamel organ and dental papilla are separated by the basement membrane of the epithelial cells. As the cells of the enamel organ differentiate, several cell populations can be identified. These include the inner enamel epithelium, the outer enamel epithelium, the stellate reticulum, and the enamel knot. The tooth has now entered the bell stage of development. Development of these structures is paired with the formation of cervical loops, points where cells continue to divide until the crown of the tooth is at its full size. The late bell stage involves the production of the tooth's hard tissues. Meanwhile, the dental lamina begins to shrink and eventually breaks away from the tooth bud. The bud is now separated from the epithelium of the oral cavity as the bell stage comes to an end.